We are having so much fun, and we know you're going to love our next guest. His name is Tony Walker, and he is a comedy guy. Comedy cures everything. So.
Absolutely. I had cancer at the age of 32, and I do believe that the laughter and the positive attitude got me through it just as much as the medications did, which led to the comedy troupe that I run called Knockem Comedy. We do dinner theater, murder mysteries, game shows, kid shows. We're not stand-up or anything like that, just comedy shows, variety shows.
So you go to restaurants and where else? Like theaters?
Restaurants, private parties, corporate events, fundraisers. Did I say fundraisers?
Fundraisers, firehouses.
Comedy shows, they're murder mysteries, they're audience participation. It's a scripted show because there's clues and hints that have to go out, but it's not a don't blink or you'll miss something. It's not Agatha Christie.
Right.
It's a comedy. It's lighthearted, but one of the characters does get killed,
right.
And then the audience has to figure out who did it and why. And if it's a private party or a corporate event, we personalize it to fit their event.
Now, do you ask the audience for help with the mysteries? Or
Yeah, they solve it.
All by themselves.
Based on what they saw during the show, we even give them a little section where they can interrogate the suspects.
Oh, that's
and,
fun.
So we'll deflect, deny, point fingers at other characters, but everybody makes the rounds throughout the whole room and talks to people.
The show is guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed fun.
Totally.
Everywhere we go,
always.
Everybody loves that show.
The audience they just get so involved, and there's just such a part of the show, and that makes it even better.
Other things that you do aside from mystery.
we do game shows. Oh, the game show, we have a podium with lights and buzzers and sounds, and it's basically
Like
a trivia game show, or it could
Right.
be, again, we ad-lib with that too. So they may want a trivia game show, but if we show up and they're a loud, boisterous group and they're a lot of fun, we could ask them to do funny physical challenges or do some karaoke or whatever, or name that tune, whatever we feel like doing, and they'll be willing to do. We'll take it there.
What movie introduced the phrase, "There's no crying in baseball"?
Oh, wait.
What letter comes after A? Go ahead. B is correct!
Is there a favorite skit that you do that just still cracks you up every time you do it?
We do a lot of audience participation murder mystery shows, comedic murder mystery shows. And there's two shows. We have a mob show. We're in New York. You have to have the mob shows. And we have a redneck wedding, which is just
Oh, that I
it's
have
a
to come
lot
see
of
that
fun.
one.
You're welcome
Yeah!
anytime. Anytime. In fact, I even
Well,
brought
growing
you a
up in
shirt.
St. Louis, Missouri, I have to say, you did?
Oh, of course I did. That you will wear
Hey!
everywhere you go. In fact, I have a whole bunch. I'm giving one out to everybody.
Everywhere I go. Okay.
That's right.
There you go.
Knockem Comedy.
Oh,
we
that's
call it.
great.
Can I
Knockem Dead
pretend I'm
Comedy.
drinking something here?
Excellent. Yeah, you can pretend like
Thanks,
you're drinking
thanks.
something.
I'm having fun on the set.
We actually do put water in it when guests ask,
Just
we
not
do. But
this
if you
guest,
if you don't ask ahead of time, wait, this one's full of water. You ready? One, two, three. All right, there you go.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just do that for right now.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag, it gets through Buckner, here comes Knight, and the Mets win it!
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knockem Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warms up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sally on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're going to keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
New Year's Eve, baby. Come on down to Governor's. Come on down to the Giggle Room for your New Year's Eve extravaganza. Headliner John Butera in the Giggle Room with your host Dan LaRocco. A bunch of great comedians. Go to govs.com and make your reservations today. Lots of great shows happening. New Year's at Governor's. Anthony Rodia in the big room. There's a late show as well in the Giggle Room with Mike Keegan and Jeff Bosey and a whole bunch of great comedians. That is New Year's Eve. Hello, Kirsten. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast Twitch channel. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us on Twitch. Go to govs.com, make some reservations for some great comedy shows. Again, New Year's Eve, the early show, you can see yours truly with John Butera and Dan LaRocco and Rich Rader and Courtney Otera and Emily Santosis and Joe Cravella and a whole bunch of great comedians. Mike Keegan producing the late show in the Giggle Room on New Year's Eve with Jeff Bosey and a host of other great comedians. Anthony Rodia is playing the big room. Don't forget, January 14th, you can see Joey Cola. And this weekend at Governor's Comedy Clubs, if you'd like to see Janice Massetti or Tim Saliani or Laura Patton or Kathy Arnold or Sal Governale and Billy Mira, or you'd like to see Welly Jackson, go to govs.com, find out the schedule, see what's going on, and make some reservations for some great comedy shows. Hello, Flex Cadet 63. Thanks for joining us, whoever you are. We're glad you're all here today. Yes, it is Tuesday Trivia. We'll be getting to that shortly. First, I have to tell you, yesterday we had our guest, comedian Chris Cassandro. He had to leave in the middle of the show because he had a situation at home. We'll get an update from him hopefully later in the week. I don't know how things have worked out. We'll hopefully find out later in the week how things made out. We spent the whole show talking about it yesterday. Oh, it's Chef Felix. Oh, I didn't know Flex Cadet 63 was Felix. Hello, Felix. Hope you're feeling well. Thanks for tuning in. Happy holidays to you and your family. So Chris Cassandro, so he had the bolt yesterday. And sometimes we have those kind of weeks where the guests cancel and people split and all that stuff. So Chris Cassandro had to run out of here yesterday. We spent the whole show talking about it. I'm sure Andy and I are going to get back into it on Friday because we seem to be on opposite ends of our opinions here. Hello, New York Girl. Hope you had a great birthday. New York Girl's birthday was the other day. And I think Chris said possibly coming back here on Thursday to talk more about what happened to him. Felix is still alive. Happy holidays to you and Sally. Thank you, Felix. Good to see you. So Chris had to leave, and then that just seems to be the spiral effect for Jay and Dan. Both couldn't be here today. I just found out within the past half hour, 45 minutes that neither one of them would make it. They both have work stuff going on. Bastards. I'm not going to pick on them because Jay doesn't like it. In all seriousness, they had work stuff going on. I'm not going to pick on them today. I'm going to go the opposite way and say I love when those guys come in, really have a good time when they're here. And I miss them when they're not here. I love doing Tuesday Trivia with them. I hate doing trivia with nobody here in the studio. I don't want to say I hate doing the show by myself, but it's just not the same energy. I need somebody in here that'll help make me laugh. So work stuff. They should work on getting there sometime. Yeah, Fremder, you said it. Fremder. All right, let's do this. Friday, December 23rd, you come in, join me and Andy on that Friday. Both of you bring your guitars and sing some holiday tunes. No doubt you guys will ruin the holiday tunes, and it will not be good, but let's do it anyway. So it's Tuesday Trivia. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Thanks for joining us. Hope you guys are going to stick around for a while and join us for Tuesday Trivia. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll go the whole 90 minutes today, because I had the whole show planned around having Jay and Dan here. So, but yeah, I got some stuff to talk about. So let's see what happens. And appreciate you guys hanging out with us. The phone line, of course, 516-465-3990. Friend just said okay. All right, there you go. So Friday, December 23rd, it'll be Tony Sandwich Between Two Andys. That'll be the name of the show, Between Two Andys. You got Zach Galifianakis with Between Two Ferns. This will be Between Two Andys. And not in the way they'd like it to be. Yeah, so the phone lines are open, 516-465-3990. Anybody feels like calling in. There is one particular call I will not take. I don't see that person watching. I don't know what to do, guys. He found us on Twitch, and now he's calling and commenting. I don't know what to do with it. I'm doing my best to I gave him a lot of time through the years. I feel like I did my best, and he just didn't seem appreciative. He wants constant attention, and I just can't. I've talked about all this before, and you guys also know I have a special needs daughter, so I feel awful, but I just can't keep doing it. And I keep looking because I know, eventually we're going to see his name, and he's going to comment like crazy and demand attention, and he's going to call restraining order. Yeah, I hate this. Well, no, I would never do that, but in all seriousness, I don't know what to do. It's been going on for years at this point, right? How much am I supposed to do? So I even feel bad saying that. That's how bad I feel with all this, but I don't know. I feel like I did my time. I feel like I did the best I could. So, and I'll leave it at that in case he ends up showing up, but I just don't know what to do. So, all right, so what's going on? Last night, I went to the movies. I saw a movie called Santa's Second Wife. It's about Santa Claus getting divorced and finding a new wife, which, I don't know, to me sounds sacrilegious. Santa doesn't get divorced, but that's what this movie was. I saw it in a theater called Coram Movie Land, something like that, Movie Land, out in Coram. Coram is out east of Long Island. From here in Levittown, it's probably a good 45 minutes from here. Santa's second box, says Fremder. Yeah, Santa received a second box. The reason I saw the movie, because and I'm not knocking it when I say this, but I was 10 minutes away from Andy. Is it? It's Andy. That theater's only 10 minutes away from you. Well, you should be thanking me for not inviting you to come meet me there, because this was like. Andy, you don't strike me as the type that would like Hallmark type movies or Lifetime type movies, because that's what this was. I know plenty of people are out there like that stuff, and that's fine. It's not my particular style. Did Santa find the missus doing 3 elves? Yes, Andy. Yes, it's right on 112. Andy. I don't know if you've been watching the whole time, but I did mention how me and you were on the opposite ends of yesterday's debacle. So I don't know if we're going to fight on Friday. I think Chris is coming. I think he's going to give us an update on Thursday, so who knows where this is going. But I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about on Friday. And then also, if you missed it, next Friday, the 23rd, Fremder is going to come in and join us. So both of you bring your guitars and ruin some Christmas songs. Santa's wife works the pole. That was show filler. What was? Us on the opposite ends of yesterday's issues. I think I'm sick on the 23rd. Yeah, so the only reason I went to see this movie is because the assistant director on this movie was my son. So, and of course I like to support. I shouldn't say that's the only reason. I feel bad. But it was the main reason. My son was the assistant director on this movie. And I'll tell you, between Don Sill's movie, when we saw Comic Sans back in November, which Santa's a polygamist. Well, yeah, he gets divorced in this movie, which I don't want to give too much away because I know you all go see it. But yeah, he gets divorced and then has to find a second wife, and it's again, I just don't think that's right. Santa shouldn't get divorced. What they should have just done is go back to like the beginning of time with Santa and just, show him trying to find a wife and then convince, and then have to show this woman that, that he's actually Santa Claus and, the whole, reality of that. Kind of like when Lois Lane was, discovering Superman. Like that first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve, that movie is hilarious. It's corny, but it's funny and it's great. This movie should have done that, but Santa should have just had an orgy, says Fremder. That's probably on your Christmas list this year. Tell her he is a CIA agent. Yeah, so with Comic Sans, which premiered last month, seeing my son's name, seeing Comic Sans on the big screen in a movie theater with a theater full of people, and then you see your son's name, it's surreal and it's a thrill. I mean, it's when you, it's like watching yourself, whether it's a TV show or a movie or something, you're excited to be on TV. Like I think most of us, I know I am, is very critical of ourselves watching something that we've done. But then to see your kid's name in there instead is just, it's the coolest thing, and to be directed by him in Comic Sans was really cool. But then to see this movie last night in a theater with not exactly a theater full of people, but there were others in there. But to see this movie and to see your son's name as the assistant director, it was wild. And one of the very first scenes, actually I think it may have been the first scene in the movie, there's a scene with Santa and there are some elves in the background, and you don't see Zach's face, you just see a little green hat, but Zach claims that was him. But there was another scene later on where you do see him in the background. Not clear as day, but if you know it's him, you can tell it's him. But it was really a great thrill to just see something that he was involved in, to see his name on the screen. Tell Zach to get a 3-ring binder and keep one. Call sheet from every job he works on. Oh, that's cool. Hey, the Dawn Hunter. What's up, John? Is Santa going to massage parlors now? That's a whole different movie, which you don't need to go to a theater for. You just find that on Pornhub. One day I hope to see my name up in lights. Maybe I'll change my name to Exit. Goodness gracious. So it was cool. So, and he's, he was the assistant director, and this production company that he's working with on these movies and stuff, they got some cool stuff going on. Zach is actually going down to Texas at the end of January to do some filming. He's actually going to be now, for some movie coming up, He's going to be directing some not fully directing not directing a full movie, but he's going to be directing some scenes. And then in March, he's actually going to the Caribbean. I'm not sure which one it is. It's both. He's going down there to work on some projects. So who gets custody of Rudolph? Yeah, good question. I would think Santa gets custody of Rudolph, because that's his job. Mrs. Claus doesn't go around giving gifts, giving out the presents. Miss you too, John. Hope you're feeling all right, buddy. Thanks for tuning in again today. So congrats to Zach. That's awesome. Thank you, New York girl. Yeah, very excited, and hope it keeps on going. Because he's out of college now. He needs to start paying some student loans, and he just needs to, get going on his career. I'm sure Mrs. Claus gives a few presents away when Santa's gone. It's pronounced Caribbean, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Caribbean. Yeah, I'm going to go with Caribbean. All right, so what else is going on? All right, so has anybody checked out this? I don't watch a lot of TV, but I keep reading. Like when I'm doing research for stuff to talk about on the show, and I'm looking around for articles, and I'll come across entertainment articles. There's a lot of talk about this TV show. I think it's on HBO called White Lotus. Has anybody watched this thing? Anybody know anything about it? I might actually start checking it out because Michael Imperioli, I believe, has joined the cast. You know Michael Imperioli as Christopher on The Sopranos. He's actually, believe it or not, he's actually one of my favorite actors. I thought he was brilliant as Christopher. I've seen him in some other things. Had the pleasure of meeting him once. So I'm thinking about watching this show just so I can see him. But I'm curious what it's about. I don't know anything about it. So I don't know if you guys know anything about it. Fremder, you would think a pirate's favorite letter would be R, but it's really the C that calls to me. Felix says White Lotus is a great show. What is it about? And then also, have you guys, anybody been, I think I brought this up once already. Has anybody been watching Tulsa King? Has anybody been watching Tulsa King with Stallone? It's a series with Stallone. First season was good, so was second season. Okay. But I ask you again, what is it about? Tulsa King is good, says Felix. All right, yeah, it's good. I won't say it's great, but it's good. It's good enough that I keep watching to see where it's going. And Stallone is an interesting guy to me. If you watch him, like on a talk show or in interviews, he seems like a real idiot. He seems like a dick, very full of himself. But on screen, there is something about him. There's a swagger, there's a charm. I mean, that's why we loved Rocky so much, and some of the Rocky 3 is basically just a copy of Rocky 1 and 2. 4 and 5 sucked, But we still love the character. We still, everybody, like if another Rocky movie came out now, people would go see it. They have to see it, It's just he definitely has some kind of presence. And this show is Tulsa King is good, but I watch it mostly because of him. I like him in the show. But yeah, the plot seems a little light. There's some familiar faces. Annabella Sciorra is now on it. She just showed up in I think there's 5 episodes so far. I think she showed up in the 4th one. So anything with Annabella is even now. I mean, she's got to be in her 60s at this point, but that's all right. So, but yeah, it seems like, again, I'm still I'm still enjoying it enough to see where it goes. But I wouldn't say it's like, oh my God, this show is fantastic. But just curious what you guys are thinking. All right, so what do we got going on here? Did you guys see that Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys, he's the latest to be accused of sexual misconduct? In a lawsuit filed last week, a girl alleges that Nick Carter raped her when she was 17 on a tour bus after a 2001 concert in Tacoma, Washington. Now the girl is 39. Shannon Ruth, or Shay Ruth, claims the singer chose her amid a group of autograph seekers to join him on the tour bus, gave her an alcoholic beverage called VIP juice, and assaulted her. The lawsuit alleges 3 other anonymous Jane Doe accusers experienced similar assaults by Carter between 2003 and 2006. And one of those 3 is allegedly underage. Carter's attorney says this is not only legally meritless, but also entirely untrue. These are not the first accusations leveled against the pop singer. In 2017, Melissa Schumann, a former member of the group Dream, publicly accused him of sexually assaulting her in 2003 when she was 18. At the time, Carter denied the allegations by saying Schumann hadn't previously expressed to him that anything we did was not consensual. And authorities did an investigation and declined to bring criminal charges against Nick Carter. All right. I don't know. It's crazy, though, to me. Like, it seems like everybody's getting accused of something. John says, bullshit. Why did she wait so long to report it? They're probably all a bunch of little rapists. Oh, my goodness. But that's what gets me. Like, it's crazy. Like, how many? It just seems like almost nobody's sacred. It seems like everybody did something. I'm just kind of shocked by this. Like, does nobody who becomes a big celebrity, a big star, like, do they lose their minds? Like, what? It's crazy to me. Nick Carter says she gave consent. She said she wanted it that way. I thought for sure I'd see Fremder's name with that comment, but that was a Plajanos. It was good. Felix, White Lotus involves characters on vacation, and each one has different stories. First season took place in Hawaii. This season takes place in Sicily. All have different actors, and each season ends. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. So do I need to watch the first season to watch the second season? Because like I said, I just want to see Michael Imperioli. Let's see, what else we got? We're going to get to Tuesday Trivia in just a little bit. A manager of an Olive Garden in Kansas was out of a job after warning subordinates to look for other work if they requested time off. Felix said, yeah, he would watch season 1, but not necessarily. Oh, okay. In an unusually harsh message that went viral online, the manager of Olive Garden in Kansas, whose name was not publicly released, complained that staffers at her eatery in Overland Park were staying off work at a staggering rate. Therefore, she said, we are no longer tolerating any excuse for calling off, the manager wrote. If you're sick, you need to come prove it to us. Oh, my goodness. If your dog died, you need to bring him in and prove it to us. If it's a family emergency and you can't stay, too bad. Go work somewhere else. That was Monday of last week. Last Tuesday of last week, that manager was fired. If your dog died, you need to bring him in to prove it to us. That's fantastic. Yeah, Plajanos is whipping some Fremder butt in this Andy dominance thing. Okay, so yeah, pretty stupid of that manager, right? So I should be saying that to Jay and Dan. Prove it to me that you're at work. If work calls you, tell them forget it. You have commitments here. I don't care that your dog died. I don't care. Probably sticking your chest out like one of those birds doing a mating call. So now the Andes are going at each other. I'll just sit here and read that, like play by play. So I wanted to. Oh, all right. I got some more weird stories, but I wanted to ask you guys, and this was something I was going to ask Jay and Dan today, but I'll ask all of you as well. Did you guys catch on TV this weekend on Saturday Night Live? Saturday Night Live was hosted by Steve Martin and Martin Short, which those two are doing so much together. They should just call it Steve Martin Short. Did anybody catch it? And I'm curious. I was hoping Dan would be here so I can ask him about it because I'm curious what guys like him, because Dan I think is 23, 24. I'm curious if he pays attention to guys like Martin Short, Steve Martin. I mean, these guys, I believe Martin Short's in his late 60s. Steve Martin, I believe, is in his 70s. I'm just curious if he pays attention to these guys. I don't know if he feels he should pay attention to these guys, if he needs to. I don't know if he feels like he should know the comedians that came before him. I'm just curious because I personally think it was the best Saturday Night Live in a long time. These guys were hilarious. I watched the Steve Martin Short special on Netflix. I never laughed so hard. Yeah, I remember when that special came out. I remember coming on the show and telling you guys to go see it. Phenomenal special, fantastic. Their show, Only Murders in the Building, fantastic, especially season 1. And they're working on a third season, but the season 2 was great too. But season 1 was some of the best TV I've ever seen. These guys are just comedic geniuses. I mean, even apart from each other, they're still geniuses. But now they're doing a lot together these days, and it's just fantastic. I love the idea too of having duos back. I hope it becomes the beginning of something. I miss comedy duos. I love that whole thing. I've always wanted to try that. I would much prefer to be up on stage as a duo act than up there by myself. I mean, that's why I love doing the show with other people. This show with other people, I feel like I'm better when I have somebody to bounce off of. My favorite comedy duo right now is Key and Peele, says Fremder. Yeah, but they're not even together right now, are they? And correct me if I'm wrong. They don't they don't do live stuff or stuff in front of an audience, right? They just had their show where they did skits or sketches, whatever you want to call it. Which I'm not knocking it. But I like, the ones that do live appearances and, have like almost like a stand-up act, Abbott and Costello type stuff. But yeah, see now that too, Abbott and Costello. Like, I'm curious if a guy like Dan would want to watch that. Yeah, so I just thought it was. I mean, I thought it was one of the best Saturday Night Lives in a long time. Their opening monologue was fantastic. It wasn't perfect. I mean, there were a couple of skits that were kind of iffy, but there was a lot of great stuff. Steve Martin is just a genius. I know Andy Plajanos agrees with me. He's been listening to Steve because Steve Martin has a new autobiography out. I know Andy's been listening to the audio book, which I believe it's Steve Martin himself reading it. Yeah, so I just thought it was a great Saturday Night Live. And then speaking of Steve Martin, Steve Martin, if I'm not mistaken, like his big break was writing for the Smothers Brothers. And again, I was going to ask Dan that, if he's familiar with the Smothers Brothers. The Smothers Brothers, CBS this past weekend, did a feature on them, which was cool because I do feel they've been kind of forgotten about, the Smothers Brothers. You mentioned, like I mentioned Abbott and Costello a few minutes ago. Like, you think of comedy duos. Unfortunately, I don't know if people remember the Smothers Brothers too well. I do feel that they've kind of been forgotten a little bit. They're not terribly active anymore. They're both in their 80s. But it did say that they still do, they have put together some kind of live show, and they're out there doing them occasionally in theaters and stuff. But those guys were great in their time. I mean, a lot of their stuff was topical, and they did a lot of stuff, like in the folk world, and they did a lot of war protest type stuff. Tommy and Dickie Smothers, right? But they were great. I thought they were great, and they had great timing. They had great back and forth. Pat Paulson for president, but excuse me. Yeah, I just thought it was cool, like to see, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Saturday night, the Smothers Brothers Sunday morning. I just, and that, it's not like music. When Joe DeJesus was here the other day, he was complaining about, he just doesn't feel today's music is very good. Fortunately, there's a lot of great comedy today. But, yeah, again, I'm just curious how younger comedians see it. Do they feel it's important to know who came before them? Like Steve Martin and the Smothers Brothers. I don't know. I don't know if it's an age thing because I grew up with these guys or what. But I love seeing these guys on TV this weekend. SNL was so much better back when people like that were always on. Well, right, and that's what I'm asking, because I did think it was one of the best SNLs in a while. Even the commercial promoting the show was hilarious. I don't know if you guys saw it, where Steve Martin was walking around with that case, and Martin Short was inside the case, and they made it look like like a ventriloquist thing. It was hilarious. If it was like that, I would probably still watch it. Yeah. But again, that's what I'm asking. Is it an age thing? Is it a nostalgic thing because you grew up with these guys? Or, would a Dan LaRocco or somebody like, somebody his age watch SNL and be like, oh my God, who are these guys? I got to see more of this. They're hilarious. I don't know. But I really enjoyed it. All right. So... There's this one weird story that I saw this morning that I'll share with you guys, and then I guess I'll start the trivia. You guys see this story? Kayla and Kelly Bingham, these identical twins. They're always in sync with each other. They're identical twins, and they figured that. And because they're identical twins, that explains why they have the same mannerisms. Both played midfield in soccer. Both made the same decision to pursue careers as doctors at the Medical University of South Carolina. Watch Steve Martin do the Great Flydini. Yes, the Great Flydini is hilarious. Yeah, he did that on the Tonight Show. Maybe these identical twins are robots. Is from there. Well, this is kind of an odd story. Their similarities never landed them in trouble until they were called into a university administrator's office in May of 2016, about a week after their end-of-year exams. Kayla and Kelly had turned in test papers with what the proctors deemed unusual similarities. On 296 of the 307 questions, they had put down the same answers. On 54 of those, they put down the same wrong answers. The Binghams were investigated by a university honor council, which ruled they had collaborated on their exams. They appealed, and the decision was overturned. Then they took the university to court. So, I'm reading this article, and I get that far. I'm like, of course they got to go to court. But here's why. They're saying that the university should have known that identical twins often perform similarly on tests. A psychology professor testified that Kayla and Kelly's similar scores could be explained by their genetic profiles. So in this past November, a jury sided with the 31-year-old twins, awarding them a total of $1.5 million in damages. So they both get $750,000 each. Kayla said the university defamed her and her sister, and that the accusations derailed their dreams of becoming doctors. See, and that's why that. So at first, when I read they sued, I'm like, of course, give me a break. But now, after hearing that, it kind of, then I'm thinking, all right, maybe the university deserves this. It defamed them, ruined their careers. Careers they put a lot of time into. So, yeah, I guess it's okay. Research shows identical twins are more alike in IQ scores and specific mental strengths and weaknesses than fraternal twins or people who aren't related. Researchers from the University of Minnesota that put over 100 pairs of identical and fraternal twins through 50 hours of medical and psychological assessment. The study found that identical twins, even those raised apart from each other, exhibited a strong correlation in various tests to measure verbal and nonverbal intelligence. Identical twins raised together, as Kayla and Kelly were, exhibited the strongest correlation. According to court documents, the university alleged that after noticing the twins' similar test scores in an audit of the first portion of the exam, a proctor observed that the two sat next to each other and appeared to be nodding unusually and writing notes that looked like attempts to communicate with each other in the margins of their scratch paper. The university sent their test scores to a data forensics company, which reported that the chances of two tests being that similar being completed independently was less than a person winning four consecutive. The university sent the test scores to a data forensics company, which reported that the chances of two tests that similar being completed independently was less than a person winning four consecutive Powerball drawings. Felix, I was married to an identical twin. They do have sensitivity and actually know what the other is thinking. Oh. Kayla said she believes the proctor who noted the twins' behavior had created a confirmation bias after seeing their similar test scores, adding that her and Kelly's GPAs in college and high school, as well as their SAT and MCAT scores, were all very similar. In testimony, their lawyer pointed out that this company's analysis should have accounted for the fact that Kayla and Kelly were identical twins. They'll eventually probably just become strippers, says Fremder. That'd be kind of cool. So they awarded them $750 each in damages. They eventually had to withdraw from the university at the recommendation of a dean after experiencing hostility from other students following the investigation into the exams. They both moved to Florida, then returned to South Carolina after choosing to pivot to law school, and now both work as government affairs advisors at the same Columbia, South Carolina law firm. They arrived at those decisions separately, too. So, yeah, you're onto something from there. I wonder, if they're that similar, they chose the same profession separately. They get into trouble. They then choose the same profession again separately and end up at the same law firm. Yeah, I wonder if you're having sex with one, you're having sex with both. I once got caught cheating on a test. What grade was that? 7th? I think, 7th grade. And, we for Mother Shucker at the same time. Yeah. I thought you were going to say I once got caught having sex with twins. That worked for a law firm. No, I'm not that fortunate. I once got a 7th grade science class. I forgot there was a test. Totally forgot. So I walk in and sit down. I'm like, he starts giving, the teacher starts giving out the test. I'm like, oh. So John Marchetti was sitting in front of me, and he pushed his paper to the side so I could see the answers, and I copied his verbatim. And sure enough, this teacher, he gave out different tests, like leapfrogging. I got a certain test. John Marchetti got a different test. The next kid in front of him got the same test I had. But we didn't know that. So the teacher, Mr. Delray, as soon as he saw mine, he realized, he saw I had the D, A, E, C. Like, I had the correct answers for a different test. So, big fat 0. But me and John Marchetti are not identical twins. I would say that would never happen regarding the sex. Yeah, absolutely. Unless you want to pass the bar exam. All right. All right. I guess it's time, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost 12 o'clock. Thanks for joining us today. Please like and share the show. Share this link all over the place. Tell everybody you know about this show, the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Tell them all about the great shows from Governor's Comedy Club podcasts. You got this show on the Twitch channel. You got other great shows on the YouTube channel. Tonight at 7:30, we got Good Times, Bad Times with Joey Petroni. Special guest host this week, Stacy Price. And their very special guest is the one and only Les Deegan, one of my favorite people in the whole world. Legendary Long Island comedian and singer and actor, and just one of the nicest people that you'll ever meet in your life. And it's Les Deegan's wedding anniversary today. And trust me, Les is not spending his anniversary here. The show was recorded a couple weeks ago. So, all right. I hold in my hand this week's Tuesday trivia. The way this works, I ask a bunch of random trivia questions. A little more Deegan. Yes, less is more. I ask a bunch of random trivia questions. There's no theme to it. There's no anything. It's just a bunch of random trivia questions. Please, since there's nobody here, please, guys, and put your answers to these trivia questions in the comment thread next to me there. And I ask all the questions. I don't give out the answers. Once I've asked all the questions, then I go back. Ask the questions again. I read your answers, and then I give you the correct answers. There's no prizes. There's no nothing. This is just for fun and gives us all a chance to make fun of you for your wrong answers. All right. So I hope you're all still here. Felix and Fremder and Andy Pajanos and New York Girl and Kirsten and John Rusiello and whoever else. Mother Shucker. I hope you're all still there. Let's play some Tuesday Trivia. All right. The final original Peanuts comic strip was published after the death of Charles Schulz in what year? Was it 1990? Was it 2000? Was it 2010? The final original Peanuts comic strip was published after the death of Charles Schulz in what year? 1990, 2000, 2010. This was a question specifically with Jay in mind. Name the first Major League Baseball rookie to win the home run derby? Is it Aaron Judge? Is it Babe Ruth? Is it Darryl Strawberry? The first Major League Baseball rookie to win the home run derby. Is it Aaron Judge? Is it Babe Ruth? Is it Darryl Strawberry? Question number 3. This is a nice, easy one for you. Who famously announced, "Here's Johnny," on the Johnny Carson Show from the early 60s and then pretty much till the end? Cough. All right. Question number 4. Name 3 actors who have played Batman. Name 3 actors who have played Batman. Question number 5. The word Christmas. We got Christmas coming. Has anybody done their shopping? I haven't done any yet. No, I take that back. 2 nights ago, I ordered some stuff for my daughter. That's all I've done so far. I have some ideas. I have some thoughts, but I haven't acted on them yet. All right, so Christmas, the word Christmas is shortened from what phrase? The word Christmas is shortened from what phrase? Question number 6. What color are SpongeBob's eyes? What color are SpongeBob's eyes? All right, number 7. The word forswanked. The word forswanked. F-O-R-S-W-A-N-K-E-D. Forswanked. What does it mean? Multiple choice question. Does it mean to be badly beaten in golf? Does it mean that you are very tired? Does it mean that you're going to get some foreskin removed? Or have gotten it removed? The word forswanked. 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 Question number 8. Name the most popular meal ordered in U.S. restaurants. Name the most popular meal ordered in U.S. restaurants. Question number 9. Name the first president that came or who came from Hawaii. Name the first Hawaiian president. Okay, and now the last question. Question number 10, you know what that means. How many Viagra tablets are sold every second? Is it 1? Is it 7? Is it 12? How many Viagra tablets are sold every second? Is it 1? Is it 7? Is it 12? All right. Laura Patton's watching. Hello, Laura Patton. You can see Laura Patton. I mentioned it before. This weekend, where are you? In the Giggle Room, Laura, I believe? I believe that's where Laura is. Along with Janice Massetti and Tim Saliani and Kathy Arnold and a bunch of other comedians. Okay, Laura says yes. All right. Govs.com, baby. Go see Laura. That's a great lineup. Janice Massetti, Tim Saliani, Laura Patton, Kathy Arnold, some other great comedians. Carla. What, she put this show together? I don't think I knew that. All right, so there you go too. Carla Okerson, she's fantastic. So go see that show. Govs.com. All right. Okay. So it is time now. Comedy Wife Productions. Very nice. All right. Time now to to find your answers. All right, here we go. Anybody see that? I just slipped. All right. First question. The final original Peanuts comic strip was published after the death of Charles Schulz in what year? 1990, 2000, or 2010? Mother Shucker says 2000. Mother Shucker, who are you? I've already forgotten who you are. Kirsten says 1990. Gina, sorry. New York Girl says 2000. Sorry. Felix said 2010. Fremder 2024. Mother Shucker and New York Girl got it correct. It was 2000. 2000. Name the first MLB rookie to win the home run derby. Was it Aaron Judge? Was it Babe Ruth? Was it Darryl Strawberry? Mother Shucker says Aaron Judge. Fremder, the Sandlot Kid. Kirsten says Babe Ruth. Felix says Darryl Strawberry. Mother Shucker got it correct. It is Aaron Judge who did it just a few years ago when he was a rookie. Everybody got the next one right. Who famously announced, "Here's Johnny." That would be Ed McMahon. Everybody got that one right. Name 3 actors who have played Batman. Fremder said Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne. Mother Shucker says Val Kilmer, Michael Keaton, Adam West. Very good. Felix, Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer. Very good. Kirsten just says Michael Keaton. All right. Wow. That's all you guys named, huh? Nobody named Clooney. Nobody named the current guy. Nobody named... who's the annoying... Christian Bale. I almost said who's the annoying English guy. Christmas. The word Christmas is shortened from what? From what phrase? Mother Shucker, Christ must be crazy. Oh, my goodness. Fremder says holy moly. Where's New York Girl's answer? I thought she got it. Oh, there it is. Christ Mass. Yes, that's actually what it's short from. Christ's Mass. Christ apostrophe S. Christ's Mass. That's actually what Christmas is short for. Okay, what color are SpongeBob's eyes? Kirsten said green. Mother Shucker said yellow. Felix says blue. Oh, Laura Patton got a McMahon too. Okay. Fremder says blue. I don't know what Mother Shucker's doing. He wrote goo. G-O-O. I don't know what that's about. His eyes are blue. His eyes are blue. SpongeBob's eyes are blue. Okay. The word forswanked. The word forswanked. What does it mean? Does it mean to be beaten in golf? Does it mean to be very tired? Does it mean you've had foreskin removed? Mother Shucker says it means it's tired. Kirsten says it's the foreskin answer. Felix says it's the golf answer. Fremder, I forswanked this morning when I woke up. Yeah, the answer is to be very tired. So Mother Shucker got that right. So, yeah. The most popular meal ordered in U.S. restaurants is what? The most popular meal ordered in U.S. restaurants is what? Laura Patton says burger and fries. That would be mine. Mother Shucker says hamburger. Kirsten said spaghetti and meatballs. Laura says no pizza for Tony. It's not pizza for Tony. That's true. That is correct. New York Girl says chicken fingers. And then Felix agreed. Okay. Nobody got that answer correct. Nobody. Fried chicken. Fried chicken. Fried chicken is the most popular meal ordered in U.S. restaurants. I wouldn't have guessed that either. Name the first president from Hawaii. Everybody got that right. It's Obama. Thanks, Obama. Okay. Hula Highlight Hunam. All right. The last question. How many Viagra tablets are sold every second? Is it 1? Is it 7? Is it 12? New York Girl and Kirsten both said 12. Oh, so did Lara. So did Laura Patton. From there, Viagra gives me a stiff neck. So New York Girl says, if that lasts more than 4 hours, see a doctor. Mother Shucker says 7. All right, yeah, all right. I only asked for 3 Batmans. Yeah, I know. I was just surprised everybody named the same 3. That's all. I was just surprised. New York Girl, I done learned a lot at Holy Family. John thought meatloaf was the most requested meal. Wow. New York Girl says, wait. Felix and I got it. Chicken fingers technically is fried chicken. And then Felix agreed, well, yeah, you can't argue with the chef. You're all right. I'll give it to you. You guys are correct with the fried chicken. How many Viagra tablets are sold every second? 7. So you didn't get that one right there, New York Girl. Thank you, Fremder. Thank you, Andrew, for letting somebody win this time. Yeah, I don't know where he went. Or is he Mother Shucker? He says, I'm a very important person. I'm also very smart. I'm also very handsome. Oh, is it Hirschman? Oh, Carol Miner. Just, damn it, Carol. Should we not tell her and do it again? Because I'm out of stuff at this point. I had planned for a show with, do a show with 3 other guys where everything I talked about would have, gone on a while. It's Dennis. Oh, shit, that's right. Fuck. Sorry, Dennis. I should have known that. Carol says, no, it's okay. I had a whole show planned. Jay and Dan were supposed to be here. They both canceled on me within an hour of showtime, so I didn't have time to work on more stuff. So I don't really have anything else. So I'm probably going to call it a day in a few minutes. How dare they, says Carol. I know. Damn work gets in the way. We need to get paid in here, man. I need to get paid in here. Should I ask for, I don't know. I feel weird asking for, like, a tip jar or something, but I don't know. Supposedly that's what you do on Twitch. Like, eventually you work your way up. If you get certain amount of subscribers or something, then you can start monetizing a little bit. I don't know. I was toying with Patreon. I don't know. I should. I know that is the way, right? That's what everybody does now. Nobody watches TV. Nobody pays for TV. Everybody goes on things like Twitch and Patreon and YouTube, and then people just throw money at them. Everyone on Twitch does it. So, but I don't think I can do it yet, right? Because my numbers aren't big enough. My numbers aren't big enough, I said. I think you have to have a certain amount of people, watching before you can ask for money here. You are working and providing a service for us. Yeah. And we have, and I appreciate it very much. We've gotten some more subscribers. That raid yesterday worked out well. I got some followers out of that. Subscribers, yeah. Yeah, I got that raid worked yesterday too. So Gina, let's do that. Give me another place to raid today before we go off the air. And Carol, today's the big day, right? We got that movie premiering tonight on PBS. What was it called? In a Different Key? In a Different Light? Something like that. It's a movie that premieres tonight at 9 on PBS, where they follow, I think it's 6 or 7 people on the autistic spectrum, including the very first person in the United States to ever be diagnosed with autism. And supposedly this documentary, like, shines a whole new light on autism. Supposedly this is the one to see. In a Different Key. Thank you. Gov should pay you too. You promote the club so much. Yeah, I know. Believe me, and I know for a fact certain people have gotten asses in seats, in the club due to being in this room. I'll tell you that. But that's why I'm working on Twitch, trying to get something. I do have, there are some other things. There's always something kind of working in here. There's always something brewing. Most of the time it doesn't pan out. A lot of things haven't worked as we hoped, but we're always trying. Always trying. Can't blame us for trying, right? I mean, anybody who's successful was a failure until one thing finally kicked in, right? So, trying. It's, it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes, especially, at my age. I'm 52. I'm starting to, it getting old. You start to worry about what am I going to do financially? How are things going to play out, Maybe you should eat food. What the hell does that mean? I ate before I came in here. What? Felix, you had a great show, man. And we enjoyed it. I don't know if that's some kind of reference to your old show. I don't know. So we, I'm, always trying to do something in here. And, plus the fact, too, we're coming up on 5 years. In March, it'll be 5 years since we started this show. Bork, bork. And sometimes that, too, 5 years of doing the show and not getting paid, you start to, the show started with 3 of us, down to 1. I don't know if I'm persistent and dedicated or stupid. Let's see. We're getting a phone call. Let's see. It's line 3, so it could. I don't know if it's a telemarketer or what. Hello.
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 Hi, this is Sean. May I speak to Richard Hofstetter?
I'm sorry. Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for Richard.
Oh, for Richard? Is that what you said? Hello. Okay. That was exciting. I do not know who to rate. Every Twitch channel I watch is on at night. That's okay. Yes, it's in the vegetarian diet. He needs to eat some meat. You used to laugh at my eating on air. Oh, yes. Well, I didn't laugh at your eating. I just laughed at the scam you had. That was Felix's show. And it was genius, by the way. It was genius. Felix would do a show about food, and he would bring in different restaurants, and they would bring in samples, and then he would bring in other guests as well. And the samples of the restaurant's food, sometimes it had enough for everybody, but usually was just a little bit to give to Felix. So he'd have other, guests as well, so then he would get all them talking to each other, and he would just... This guy got, beautiful lunches, made for him. Every Tuesday you were on? Every Thursday? What was it? And it was a genius idea. Go ahead, you guys talk. Well, I'm just going to sit here and eat. I should do a show about sex. And I'll bring in other guests to talk. Kirsten loved Felix's show. Carol, could be a mix of both. Sorry, I don't know what we're talking about. Dennis, Dick Hertz. Definitely sounded like a Patel. Thanks, Felix is thanking Kirsten. He's trying to recover so he can come back. Excellent. You imagine doing a show about sex. Give me a little sample of what you do. And you guys talk amongst yourselves. Thursday, that's how... Oh, it was Thursday. That's how I gained weight. You can scrape a sample right off that couch. Oh, my goodness. Ugh. So, yeah, so like I said, we're always got things cooking, always trying something. And then, like I said, I had the show started with 3, it's down to 1, and I do miss them. When the show was good, it was really good with the 3 of us, and I'd like to think it's still good now. I hope you guys enjoy it, because I don't want to give it up, but yeah, at the same time, there are days I'm like, damn, I gotta make some money, man. But it's weird, again, at this age, they're gonna learn a new trade, or do you start to wonder, is the show good? Because it's not, is it picking up steam anywhere? Is it getting a buzz? I don't know. I do feel we've had some great shows in here through the years, and I do feel we have some great shows now, and we've had some really good waves. We've had some bad waves. And right now I do feel that we're kind of in the middle. I do feel that if certain things work out, I do believe we can really rise. But you can have hookers on demoing their specialty. Sorry, specialty. Yeah. I believe we had a show that was almost like that we had to throw out of here. So, they almost didn't let that comment through because of the word hookers. I had to let it through. New York Girl, all is good as long as you do not bring back the sex show with the Amish. Yeah. I wasn't referring to that show at first. I was referring to a different show, but yes, that show will never be back. Neither one of these shows that we're referring to will be back. The sex show that talked about Amish people. I would like to bring a sex show. I've always, a sex show in here, but like a funny, semi-classy sex show. Preferably with women, but women who aren't afraid to really get into it. Talking about sex, that is. Yeah, I've always loved that idea of getting some, maybe 2 women here that would talk about sex without holding back, without being, disgusting, but honest and true. Homeless hooker is the best because you can drop them off anywhere. Oh, my goodness. Too bad Carol's not here. Too bad she doesn't live here. I would love to talk Carol into doing a sex show. You always shine a light on new comics or comics needing some airtime to get noticed. That's a big win in my book. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, I do like that. I love bringing in all sorts of different people. I find, I personally believe everybody has a story and there's something interesting about everybody. But do a call-in sex show. Callers can be anonymous. Yeah, but I need a host. And again, I prefer 2 hosts that will, again, be honest. And, because you have a call-in show, but the hosts still need to be engaging and they need to be able to, comment on what's being discussed, and they need to be able to be real and tell true stories and work off their experiences. It's not that easy. You can call the sex show Box Bumpers. Oh, Carol liked that idea. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely try to push Carol to do it if she lived here. That would be cool. Thank you, Fremder. But yeah, so I do appreciate that. I do try to bring in all sorts of different people. I do like shining a light on comics. I do feel it's helped certain comics. I do feel it helped Jay a little bit. I feel it helped Dan. It definitely helped Bosie. Yeah, so I do enjoy it. I like bringing comedians that I don't know, so I can get to know them. I like spotlighting the comedians, but I do like bringing in all sorts of different people. Sounds like you need to go scout some potential hosts at local strip spots. You should get a sexual therapist on, a young Dr. Ruth. Yeah. Anybody know anybody like that? All right. So, all right. I guess I'll call it a day. What do we got? Okay. Go to govs.com. Once again, there's some great stuff going on. Carol says her and Chris Thomas. That would be fun. Chris Thomas would be good. I don't know if she would do it, but she would be great at it. Love to see more interviews with people like Champlin and Pollock. Oh, hi, Frank. Yeah, and again, that's a lot easier than it sounds. I just got lucky getting those guys, and I reach out to people all the time, famous people all the time. The Beach Boys just came through town, and they had special guest John Stamos playing with them in the concert. So I tried to get Stamos. No good. Just go on the internet and look up sex therapist. All right. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But yeah, Carol Miner and Chris Thomas, that would be good. But yeah, but then, but to rely on Zoom all the time, and sometimes we have the technical difficulties. But I will do that, New York Girl. I'm going to look up sex therapist, Long Island sex therapist. The other day, my wife asked me, "Are you having sex behind my back?" I replied, "Who'd you think it was?" Yeah. And yeah, I could definitely see Chris Thomas doing it, but I don't know if she would. All right. But yeah, I'm always working on trying to get some. It's been a while since we've had a really big name in here. I'm trying to think who the last one even was. But yeah, we're definitely overdue to get like a big name. We've had some good luck. The Ricky Gervais TV show Afterlife. We had the girl that played his wife, Kerry Godliman. We've had Ray Abruzzo, who played Little Carmine on The Sopranos. We've had Vic DiBitetto on the phone. We had Bill Champlin, who was formerly of the band Chicago. We had Kevin Pollak. We've had some cool people. So I'm just gonna have to be more diligent and try to get some people in here. Hunter is coming back, says Felix. Who's Hunter? Who's Hunter? Hunter is coming back. All right. So while I wait for Felix's answer, don't forget tonight here on Gov's Comedy Club podcast on the YouTube channel, we got Good Times, Bad Times with Joey Petroni. His guest host is Stacy Price. And their special guest is Les Deegan, who is celebrating his wedding anniversary today. Oh, Hunters, the Netflix show. Oh, is it coming back? Is that official? Because, I haven't heard anything about it. I wonder if they'll bring me back. Oh, and we had the guy from Hunter. We had one of the series regulars, Louis Ozawa. He was one of the cast members on Hunters. He did the show with us, which was fun. He was a really nice guy. So yeah, I'm gonna have to work on getting some guests. You know what it is too? I haven't figured out Zoom here on Twitch. I've been having some issues with it. That's another reason why I've been a little lax with getting some guests. So maybe on Friday when Andy Blajanos is here, maybe I'll try to do some. Maybe I'll try to test out the Zoom right in the middle of the show, so you guys can tell me if it's working. So yeah, I'll do that. The other day, says Fremder, in bed, my wife said to me, "It feels good when you feel my leg like that." I replied, "Relax, I'm just looking for the remote." Well, and where exactly was it? That was stupid. Good Times, Bad Times. Joey Petroni, Stacy Price, Les Deegan. Tonight at 7:30. Call Zoom, they may know. I will. Thank you, Felix. And then tonight at 9, Hershey and the Keegs, live, right here in the studio. Both shows on the YouTube channel. Great shows, so don't miss those. And And, of course, we're off tomorrow because tomorrow's Wednesday. We're never here on Wednesdays. We'll be back on Thursday. I think Chris Cassandro is coming back. He's going to tell us what happened. He's going to update us on his situation yesterday that led him to have to leave the show yesterday. And still working on Kenny Forgione. I think he's coming in tomorrow on Thursday, bringing his guitar. He is the leader of the band Wondrous Stories. If you're on Long Island, you must have heard of this band. They've been around a long time, and they're fantastic. The remote that turns it on. Yeah. I think he's coming. Kenny's coming in on Thursday, so he'll play some tunes, so that'll be fun. So, so we'll see you Thursday. Don't forget, Good Times, Bad Times tonight at 7:30 on the YouTube channel. Hershey and the Keegs live at 9 o'clock on the YouTube channel. And then we're back here on Thursday on Twitch. Thank you, guys. Thanks for helping me out on this day when I'm by myself and playing Tuesday Trivia, and for the all the great suggestions at the end here. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Carol. Love you guys and appreciate everything you guys, all the support you guys give. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and your Wednesday. See you Thursday. I didn't have my graphics set up. Oh, boy. All right, I'm going to leave with this one. All right. See you guys later.